Tiêu ni mo?
Oh, 4 minutes alone, ma.
Okay.
Afia try am kidam.
Oh, Fia Chai.
Oh, ole, thank you. Kami utone. Oh, ata aron kal thito.
YouTube akan live to.
Ole.
John. Oh yeah. Travel.
This one I will do. Okay, very long. If I can speak up.
Hello and good morning. Welcome to the 11th Vigyan Utsav webinar of Mizoram Science, Technology and Innovation Council. The Government of India has initiated Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav to celebrate and commemorate 75 years of progressive India. As a part of the Mahotsav, the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India initiated a year-long webinar series with defined monthly themes. As such, the State Science and Technology Councils, in collaboration with the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, has been organizing this monthly webinar since September 2021. And we are now in the 11th month, and this webinar series will end in August 2022. So the theme for this month's Vigyan Utsav is Atmanirbharata and industry, which translates to self-reliance of the country through our industrial products. Self-reliance in India's manufacturing ecosystem is one of the flagship programs of our Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And one of the main objectives of the Make in India scheme is to increase the manufacturing units. And there have been several promotional activities um, uh, that has been initiated for the Atmanirbharata and industry. And today we are contributing to this activity of the scheme through our webinar program. So without further ado, may I now request Engineer H. Somyana, the Member Secretary and Chief Scientific Officer of MISTIC, to deliver a welcome note. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Good morning and a warm welcome to one and all. It is my privilege to give the welcome speech and opening remarks in this webinar organized by Mizoram Science, Technology and Innovation Council under the initiative of Department of Science and Technology, Government of India. I welcome all the delegates from Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, our invited speakers for this webinar, participants from the State Science and Technology Councils, and all the participants from Mizoram. I take this opportunity to thank the State Science and Technology Council for joining this webinar. This shows the bond and togetherness we have in conducting Vigyan Utsav throughout India. At the same time, I wish you all the very best for conducting the webinar on July 2022 theme, which is Atmanirbharata and industry. Industrial sector contributes about 30% to GDP of the country, realizing the need for self-reliance in production. Government of India, through its flagship program like Make in India and Atmanirbharata, is facilitating investment, fostering innovation, skill development, protections of intellectual property right, and state-of-the-art manufacturing infrastructure. The sector ranging from manufacturing of bicycles and auto parts to satellites, defense equipment, medical delivery system, semiconductors, etc., are striving to gain a competitive edge by forging linkages with knowledge institutions or making investment for in-house R&D. The surge in such striving was particularly witnessed during COVID through time-bound developments and the delivery of vaccines, indigenous ventilators, diagnostic, personal protective equipment, etc. Further, in view of the announcement made by Honorable Prime Ministers to reduce India's emission intensity of GDP by 45% by 2030, the country is witnessing surging interest in cleaner industrial technologies. In today's webinar, we have very eminent speakers from government sector, industrialists and financial institutions who will share the importance of industry at different spheres of our society. I am certain that today's program will facilitate acquisition of knowledge that will lead us to creating a better understanding for the need of industry and their contribution within the state as well as the country. Again, I would like to thank Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, and all other stakeholders and participants in this webinar. I hope that our program will help us to realize the importance of self-reliance in industry, which will enable us to have a more efficient supply chain and cut down our dependence on other states. Once again, I wish all the participants the very best for this webinar. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for the welcome note. Moving on, we will now start our webinar by inviting our very eminent speakers. First, I would like to introduce our first speaker for today, who is none other than Mr. Lalmunsyama, the Additional Director, Directorate of Commerce and Industries, Government of India. He is one of the most renowned person in the Department of Commerce and Industries of Mizoram, and he has held several important positions, such as the General Manager of the different district industry centers. And I learned recently today that within these 5 years itself, he has been posted around and moving around different districts in Mizoram. So his knowledge definitely is very vast, and we are very, very thankful to have him in our midst. And so without further ado, I will request Mr. Lalmun Siama, Additional Director, Directorate of Commerce and Industries, Government of Mizoram, to share his thoughts and insights. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Today, it is important webinar. There are so many things, so many aspects of industry to talk about today, but I don't know which point I'll stress, but due to this time limitation, and there are so many other speakers after me, so I'll just a glimpse of this sector. Like to start with, this Atmanirbhar Bharat. It starts with this our Honorable Prime Minister. He announced this Atmanirbharata Vigyan in his address to the nation in 12 May 2020. So the objective of this our Prime Minister's announcement under Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan is to make India a self-reliant country. So following that announcement, this our Honorable Finance Minister has announced a series of stimulus packages for development of industries, and especially for this MSME sectors, which majority of our industries. So under the reforms, there are several components. The total announcement is 20 lakh crore. So today I'll talk about this, how that announcement can be benefited, or how much impact it has in our state's industry in the context of Mizoram. We all know about this, the impact it has been created in the national context, but how far that announcement reached the industries of Mizoram. So that will be our focus. So I'll mix my speech with Mizo also to understand about this, how that will help our industry today. Is, I think most of us might have knowledge of how this reforms and stimulus announcement has been translated to the scheme. So as of now, majority of our industries in Mizoram are micro enterprise without any credit linkage. So all the schemes under this Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan is a credit link scheme. So our industries are having still having a problem in getting the benefit till now, because 50% around 50% of our micro enterprise are not availing loan for their industry. So the one component is under Atmanirbharata Vigyan is like credit, ease of credit, and emergency credit line. Say for example, emergency credit line announced under the scheme. So they cannot avail the scheme since they have not taken loan. So Mizo kan solution zom no kan industry tahi micro MSME sector MSME kan hanti na in MSME approachon ate bersi micro approachon ate ber ang level hi atam so kan dia an investment te any chung te chu mani nei ang anga mani sum loan laloba start te anitlang puya hengte tan hian sarkar na policy an nei ang chi tuna prime minister finance minister na tun naya ni kantun kum ni kalta vela kalam panga abustar turata na an siam kha duangin Mizoram state tan chuan kana bel palabani tin tuna kan scheme ne a scheme maran an ne thang entiran food sector a PMFME scheme te kalmeka antimeka heng song song hi credit linkage ngai bik anita a chubang chuan Mizoram industry din mek tele din tu tan po tuna chuan ngai tu na tharneya engtin nge credit engeni omzene zoka industry kan kalpui kan therbe be hi angaya tin kan industry te hi engeni chung ko din chung ko industry kan tiang chi proprietary concern de vet an lan dia chumi wang chuan labor net skill worker net han nei te khatiang kha hara chu wang chuan proprietary concern atanga a chung jok engemo company ang jong te khatiang zonga lian jok kan in herrem chho ve hi atu to khup maya chumi ani lo chuan tuna kan engeni indiana self reliant at ni atumna ahmalak na hian kan tel padon lo tilani chu tuna kan din hum chu engeni za somnga kan industry te za somnga velahi loan la lo ma ni ti tin ahmun po nei lem lo an nia chuwang chu amun po mani na ti mai le rem chang piang ti amun po nei thalem lo khatiang kha an ne wangin than kan har sata ten kan population at lema wang hian hiltam taka disadvantage nei na lai kan leya chulo le chuan infrastructure kan nei thatto lo na kalkong thuan yamo hilhang thanga hianin Mizoram kan industry te harsat na alasiam de upoka amai ro chu kan kal that chho chuan Mizoram context big angin soita ila tun mate ngai to chuan tuna hian imani tual chung siam le tual chunga kan industry te thil siam hi achang kang son ma chu kan son khupa amai ro chu min mason na kepen rol tu chuan ikal chu langai khup mai te ro chu kan thiat sa theu ani a chulaya chuan India independent tiratanga India na self-reliant turutan tibela tuna pass on na tura industrial policy rang alo chop chodan te le chuti laya Mizoram entinan India independent tir chowa engene socialist pattern of economy noya state in athayang angin industry amarwet na topa tichuan akal chojela private sector tan sector engmosa ta thau chojela a relax chojela sangha ko somko pakhata full liberalization policy in kanluta chuta chuan chuti lai chuan sangha ko somko pakhata kan lukhan Mizoram chu kumni thum or state a kanom pe a remna noya development akaltan be don chowa chuti lai chuan kan in tiam lo chungin emo tiam kan tiam le tiam lo lampang kha nilavin khovelin globalization a local puito sia chu wang chuan industrial development ta hian mi nubai rama kan tlan lo thelo ba engkim atharat tiangaya bultan vek kan le bangin voin thlengin chu chuan in har satna min la pedek hian alanga chuan chu kan tran la na tu le kan ka khami wang khan ke mani har kan industry te kon har satna tam tak an to kha khami tanga lo in tana ni ti kha kan ril ruwa poina kan sei lang tu thima chuan tuna hian there are several initiatives of the government of India for self-reliant, for making India into a self-reliant country. So that includes reforms in every sector, like what we all know is ease of doing business. So under this ease of doing business, Mizoram is also taking various steps, and the latest one is a recent enactment of our Ease of Business Act, Ease of Doing Business Act. So under the Ease of Doing Business Act, we'll introduce Ease of Doing Business portal for single window clearance system. So for that, transaction clearance, getting registration, getting permits will be done through the single window portal when it is ready. So that's a work in progress. So that is the initiative under the CODB that the central government is pushing all the states to make reforms in one direction. So Mizoram also have to follow that direction. So the next thing is that PM Gati Shakti. For under PM Gati Shakti, all the infrastructure projects in the throughout India will be monitored through a single portal, PM Gati Shakti portal. And previously, this when one department is taking action, that the other department doesn't know it. But under PM Gati Shakti, that development, say suppose what we all know is that the PWD in Aizawl is making road surface resurfacing. So the next day, this telecom people will come and those roads they cut the roads and they lay their cable. And the third day, this PHC water pipeline has been laid, and again the road has to be resurfaced again and again. So under this PM Gati Shakti's vision is whenever this one project is going, then all other related means activities that will go on the project will be going simultaneously, so that there is means it is a holistic approach. So this is how the central government is taking up right now. So the third thing that I would like to mention is that is state logistic policy. Now this central government is urging us to frame a state logistic policy. Accordingly, this Mizoram also we have drafted Mizoram state logistic policy that is under consideration of the government, and I hope this logistic policy will be notified soon. It will be notified soon. So under this logistic policy, is all the logistic requirements for the industrial development and other activities will be taken care of. Taken care of in the sense that under proper regulation and proper streamline of action, we have a logistic roadmap. We'll have a logistic roadmap and logistic infrastructure also will be developed in a better way. So I hope this will come soon, and this will help the industries. This is as a part of action taken under this towards attainment of this Atmanirbharata. So although Mizoram is having many difficulties due to its topography, its location, and its others, but we are moving along with the other states towards attaining the Atmanirbharata, the self-reliance, towards the self-reliance state. Kichuan maba kichula tam khopa in khaeng zong zong kan ti du tam tak te le thil ti thei tur ang kan state government ina an engen industry ti mason na ta na ti tur rule ni a khiat ang tapo kan thre thu wangin tu na kan state sum har sana ba yan duang takin ati thei lova hanti maila kan duang takin scheme te po akal pui thei lo sang oma tin kan duang scheme po han duang cho thei lo le kan industry te puin ngai na lai pui thei lo win state sarkar kan chuan oma amai ro chu ti rol chuan kan industry te point helaya sarkar engkim kanril ruwa don tumna in nat fai pek lo hian eng central government atanga loan kal tlanga loan engani credit link scheme aron ne ho te po hi tun aya thazo ka kan avel thiam chuan twitter industry hen ma son the ni in kathia tin tun ma aizol dung le wanga vai chang thop kota an kalvel hun lai le tuna kan tin hun te chu son tak chu kan ni ad du angin hanti maila kan du khop phe chu alani haulowa amai ro chu ti chung chuan helai tang ma son lo chu kan ni lowa maro chu ma son tur alatam je en hi chuan kan ma son na hi mi ten local thui to sia chuan chakteo kan be hi chu angai ani ti kha hoina kan choi landu ram ani a chuan kan vai ril ru pakhat ril ru mun khata kan kan masol tur kan ngai tu tlan chuan thui tak kan kal the ni ti kha ka so ni mai sala ke thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Pulal munsia ma chunga kan lo em ba thu beng ba thak tak tak te min ron soi sa ka kan lo ngai tha anga inom kan ti a ma son na tura ma kan la na tur poi mo tak te poron chop changa kan lom em ani. Thank you very much, Mr. Lal Munsiama, for highlighting the initiatives of the and the different schemes from the government sector, for highlighting the importance the government efforts in expanding logistics that will ultimately contribute to Atmanirbharata, and also the importance of interdepartment collaboration and connectivity. Thank you very much once again. I would like to now take this opportunity to invite and introduce our next speaker, Mr. David Lalwanpuyafanai, who many of us will know as Mapuya. He is the Vice President of Mizoram Industry Owners Association, Vice President of Mizoram Chamber of Commerce and Industry. He has received Mizoram State Outstanding Entrepreneurship Award in 2019, and he is also the proprietor of Efshang Vela Group of Small Industries. Thank you very much, sir, for accepting our invitation in spite of your very tight schedule. So now I invite Mr. David Lalwanpuya to share his insights. Over to you. I think your mic is mute. Kasi thấy mẹ lâu. Audio ka kan siya thấy mẹ lâu ạ. Kan là siya thấy mẹ lâu. Take your time. Kan Mapuya là siya thấy mẹ lâu. We are facing a small technical problem. We'll try to guide you through the audio setting. While we are facing some technical problem, I would like to make a small announcement. For those who are interested in e-certificate, we will be providing e-certificate. The link for the certificate will be available in the chat box. So those who are interested may kindly fill in the form and submit so that we can send the certificate of participation. Thank you. While our speaker is getting ready, for the interest of time, we will move on to our next speaker, Ms. Kayla Mwanpui, proprietor, Lenwang Handloom and Handicrafts. Kayla Mwanpui, Ms. Kayla Mwanpui, she started Lenwang Handloom and Handicrafts in 2015. And this initiative of hers is to blend the tradition and business together, which is very, very beautifully done. She aimed at creating sustainable livelihood opportunities for the marginalized women in the different districts, as well as preserve the unique textile tradition of Mizoram. She has participated and has received several recognitions in different exhibitions and fairs within the state, northeastern India, and national level itself. And some of the highlights of the recognitions she has received includes the Best Exhibitor, Anturium Festival in 2016, Best Exhibitor, India International Cooperative Trade Fair Delhi in 2019, and Best Exhibitor Destination Northeast in Shimla in 2020. We are very grateful that she has accepted our invitation to share her success story today. So over to you, Ms. Mamoni.
Sibai ule tamin chu Kayla Mwanpui nia Lenwang Handloom and Handicraft proprietor kania chang ni som panga a khan handloom and handicraft ki bu kan lo chana ka zirna ka background ni chinan wal sui ang khan MPhil hian economics MPhil kania chuta chuan ka thil ka dissertation a handloom chungcha ma kha I ka zia kani handloom hian eng angin nge employment are generate na tezir chiangin kan na tho part time lecturer khan ka thukhin na khati hun lai khan chu ban sanin ka thesis ka zia ang khan handloom and handicrafts a bul ka chanta ni changni som panga bul kan chana chuta chuanin frame loom kan ti fly shuttle loom te po kan ti mizo loom te kan ti chubi a second hand chu kan leya chubi chuan bul kan chana mizo puan ta tu nu da pali howing bul kan chana chuan Mizoram market kan ti new market a puan le nan ti a hianin puan te kan han pe pe chana amai ro chu khami ringot ka pe khan ma ka son don lo an mani ringot ka kwal kha chuan ma ka son don lo ti sha in azau zo ka kal tumin India ram hun shang shang ate exhibitions te kan kala chunga chuanin contact te kan nei bel bel zela abal karon order te an oma in export oriented exhibition te katela chunga chuan mizo hi kan puan ta hi a handpick motif kan ti aputa kan koma hi mi in an ngai zu ema India ram hun shang shang han kalila handpick motif temte chuanin Indian brand na pon aman ataw china mizo te zo phe hi chu kan puan te han eni la kan puan je hi abit ma akhat chup me ya je hianin phetiang kan he so me khoi chang ma kan zir pon non kan pi le pu te chang kan in han son nin ka sha e tu ma hi training ngai an omlo an han ti chin do chuan an lo thiam ze me ya rong si tha ka te mizo mi thi andal ma chumi ni wang chuan kan puan han pholan te e India ram hun shang me ni lo khopen hun shang changin nal ti a loa export oriented exhibition ka voi khatel na chuan tikhan buyers turte kan han India amaro chu mani chau chuan thil har sa te alo oma khanga khan in thon chun zom theilo te po kan ne ya amaro chu India ram hun shang a hian thon na te kan ne chunga chuan atalar pola chon Guwahati te Mumbai te Delhi te kan product te kan thon china tuna hianin weavers hi fly shuttle loom ta tu mi som hi zong to industrial estate ta hian an oma chuan ala room tu te apwan bang tu te an om de a tum te nen chuan zong to industrial estate ta kan chor hi tuna hian mi som thum an ni chawa ti chuan loin lung kan ti man lai kan pi le kan pu te puan ta ang putta kan ti ko nga von ang chi kha mun shanga aizola te thingtang mun shanga te la ka pe a design te ka pe a kan boy puya ka boy pui ko la tikhan an ta chwa te lei sak ngalin an ta man te kan pe a tikhan chutia anga mi chor chu mi som thum tu na kan oma atang puin tu na hian kan handloom and handicraft len bong handloom and handicraft a hianin mi som nga atanga som rup achangin som ria te kan han ting chawa chu na thok tu kan om meka ti chuan showroom hi industry peng ram hun nor ta hian kan puan ta chwate kan show na mun oma chumi pialama chuan kan ta chwate kan thrui le a puan thrui tu hi mi som atanga som panga in puan an thrui me pokani chutia ang chuan kan kal thina kan in zorna tam zo pa hi chu exhibition Mizoram chunga le pona ania tuna hian showroom hi athar nei tumin ram hun sau ta hian kan siame poka tin handloom ka mu chwa chu handloom kan han boy puya karil ruwa lo lang ka mu chwa chu kan skill sa hi namdang ten an nei theilo in Mizoram an lo zin pu a kan chuan tak kan lo ko mu the nia ka sha chu kan puan ta moi tak te hin ka sha a chan chu enton an tum viau ma se a plain weave ani lo chuan motif omani chuanin an enton hlei thei lo lai tak hi a chuan ka tia kan pi le pu te changa kan ro chun kan ti to ang khan tin khum beu te hi vai ho hianin han enton viau don ma se a chip bira hi an ta fu hlei thei lawa chu wang chuan khum beu te po hi midang pon namdang pon ron ta tum viau ma se mizo tu ang thapa ta thei kha chu mizo te bok hi kan lo ni le zela khatiang khan handloom and handicraft vai chuan namdang te na an thiam be thei lo thiam na kan nei lai hi mizo te min ti chak tu ani a mizo te ta na zon na tling ani zia ti nang tu ni ka sha a ti chuanin tun ha ya hianin Champhai district a duntlang a te khobunga te lockdown line amania puan lo ta thiam ang lo ti te lo bul lo chan te nom chho be nok no ka chung ho chu ma ka han la pui chun zoma an ma son na tur te puan an ta ran dan tur te la rong chi thak chung chang ate tu te anga ma son tur chuanin thamasa khan Champhai district khoshang shanga han ka han kal kwala chunga chuan puan ta tu mi som ni vel nen tho ho na kan ti fela chu tu na hian an ta chwa ang te ke in ka lo le sak zela amai ro chu ka kal hun hi a chen chuan lo te lo nei man to in an lo lama ri ru pek te angai wangin kumti ra kal ka ni lo wangin a chen hi chuanin an ha dam chung anga chote an ta amai ro chu an du dan chuan kumti ra lo nei lawa putta te puan ta a thei pa to pa zon na bul chan kha an du dan nia nula achan hem zo kan nia chu chuan min ti lo me ma kan puan ta te nula la min kan thiam tlem to ma puan bul thut kan ti te puan ban kan chi nanga no pang lai chuan kan pi le kan pu te kan nu le kan pa te na an ti chin dan te kan she a chwa tan chu wa puan kan ban pui china a bul chu tu a mangai china khanga khanin bul chu tu bul chu thiam kan ti ang te na choi kan thiam kan ti te an upat chho zela I kan in zir tir zel lo chuanin hemi kan thiam na ru tak put ta kan ti te athima yang ti lo oma amai ro chu Champhai district a khobung te dung tlang ti te khoi mo sam thang ti ate chuanin nula lamin an tuipui a nula hobin na zoi te an thanga pangpar te an zia ka khatiang kha an ron ta chuak thiam le ani chu kan ma son na ro pui tang ning ka sha tunlaya atam zok chuanin puan ta pu kan hu thachung kan hu mang to lova chuti laya mania thiam ta ka puan an ta the wang pu khan alom ka tia chung ho chu ti khan kanin thun zoma hun khata kan oma an mania kal ngai na shelote an mania design ta tur shelote I market ngai to thiam lote khang ho kha ka han boy pui chun zoma ti chuan tu na han tlang takin kan thok zela kan ma ba ka hi tamzo I thon suak thei turin ma kan la me ka chumi tur chuanin Mizoram kan la man tlang pui acrylic yan kan ti petroleum byproduct atanga siamania petroleum byproduct ania kan han hal pon plastic ang che hi ani me arim te po plastic rim anama chumi la kan man Mizowina tamzok te na kan man puan bi a kan ta hi India rampon lama chuan Mizoram pon lama te khang kha chuanin an lo ngai na lova an du ber chu natural fiber kan ti hi ania chu tiang anga natural fiber tamzok ta chuak thei tur chuan tu na hianin Sericulture Department Government of Mizoram nen MOU kan sign na June tha khan MOU kan sign na chu kan MOU a chuan an la de chua Sericulture Department in na silk kan de chua te an silk de chua te mulberry silk hi atamzok ania chu tiang ang chu ta turin kan la a silk puan na kan ta chhuate stall kan ta chhuate kha Sericulture Department na hian kan pelet le china ti chuan tho ho na fel takin kan siama chu chuanin kan quality kan yan man na kha kan la man na kha ati sanga silk phei chu India rama ngai san an lo abik takin muka silk phei chu ngai san an lo le zwala amaro chu Mizoram kan thar chwa atamzo 90% hi chu mulberry silk ani ria chu tu na hian kan ta chho chan mek zira put ta ani phei kha chuan a value kha han sang le a chu tiang su kan ta dan kalphung ani a Sericulture Department nen ma kan la a MOU kan sign na chu mi pia lama chuanin natural fiber pakhat cotton man la ya kan ta war china kha cotton na hi tu na ata an tlem to ria amaro chu hi kan han ma kan han la chho zela naw pok wana te in chung cheina cushion covers a te table runner a te tu na hang kan ta so meka Northeastern Development Handloom and Handicrafts Development Corporation po in lockdown la ya wanta tu te har sat na kan to khami min chanpui nang khan Mizoram product procurement and ron le chu mi a po chuan an du ber chu natural fiber an bangin kan ne na len wang handloom and handicraft product kha atamzo ko chu Mizoram changin an la tam tham tak min dor ve a chu te ang ani awang chuan kan phura ke ni po natural fiber hi Mizoram tan me ni lo Mizoram po na market chatak kan nei the nan ta zel chun zom ta ning kan sha chu tiang tur po chuan ma kan la zela tin silk a hi mulberry silk kan ta hi tu na hian putta in puan kan han ta china ngai hlut a hlo le zwala ama chuan putta lo flash to room kan ta kha kan mu tam zo kan ni amaro chu en chin na te kan han nei khan one bia hian mulberry silk hi alo rin takin abi alo nuam le ni ti kha kan zir chu ania kan mu chu ania chu tu na hian mu thein om thoi do na showroom emporium Sericulture Emporium a son mu thein om to amaro chu tam zok ta turin ma kan la zela thei to pin Mizoram handloom industry handloom and handicrafts industry alen theinan ma kan la zela ni ti kha kan karon soi do ni e ka lo me
Thank you very much, Miss Mamoni. Kan love em ani in malak na te apoy mo em in highlight ko dito mizo may chat na zon na livelihood kaya anga in provide site he ta tingkang na in han zong chwa ka in han train pe ka in pa kom ta ti mason je tur po indo sakna kan se uni. Thank you, Miss Mamoni, for sharing her success story. The zeal and the initiative to promote traditional handloom techniques, her creativity and innovative thinking is indeed an exceptional quality. And I think one of the very important uh, highlight is that she has set a stage for women empowerment in the state. Thank you very much. So moving on to our next speaker, if Mr. David Montoya is ready, I
Am I
would like
audible
to...
now? Can you hear me?
Yes, you're
Okay,
very
sure.
much audible. So I will invite Mr. David Montoya, Vice President, Mizoram Industry Owners Association, to give his talk. Over to you.
Okay. First of all, good morning, everyone. And very sorry for the inconvenience. So I had some technical issues from my side. So anyway, firstly, I would like to mention that I really appreciate that I can participate as an entrepreneur and as a stakeholder in this program. So I've made my presentation in just 2 parts, which will be very, very brief. First part will be a short story regarding my journey as an entrepreneur. And secondly, it will be regarding the challenges and the opportunities with context to the industries in Mizoram. So firstly, let me just start regarding my what have been achieved so far. So I would just like to share that I started very humbly, from a very humble starting. So I started with just 4 employees in the year 2000 with my own personal savings. So that was a very humble beginning. But fortunately, I was lucky enough to get the financing from under the PMAGP scheme of just 25 lakhs from the SBI, State Bank of India, in the year 2001. So looking back 20 years down the line, I'm really pleased to share with you that as of now, we have started 4 more other new ventures, mainly in the field of construction-based industry. So right now we have started a steel extrusion unit as well as an aluminum extrusion unit. Moreover, we have also started a cement-based factory. That is, we manufacture paver blocks and tiles, and also we are the first to install the bar bending industry machineries in the state of Mizoram. So why I'm saying this is that I take great pleasure that all these 4 ventures have been able to grow smoothly. And at present, we employ over hundreds of people, not only from the local market as well, local people, but also from the neighboring states. So as of now, we are also working with the state and central government in preparation of and execution of infrastructure development projects under different ministries. My reason for stating all of this is that I truly believe there is enough potential for growth in Mizoram for all the sectors of the people or the society. So however small they start their ventures. So I started from employing just 4 people. Now, happy to say that I'm employing almost 100, more than 100, few hundred people. So what I'm trying to say is that if I can do it, I think anyone can do it also. So that will be the first portion of my presentation. So the second part is really regarding the challenges that we have. So basically, what I would like to point out is that I don't want to sound very pessimistic at all, but I would like to mention that from my first-hand experience that it is quite difficult and very, very difficult to start an industry in Mizoram. The difficulty may be due to various reasons, but basically what I find lacking is that the general public, as well as the administration out here in the state, we are basically much unaware of the benefits and the impact that the development of industries would bring to the economy. So basically, because of that, we are lagging quite behind. And secondly, I would just like to point out, I'm not accusing any governments, I'm not accusing the past or the present. I would like to say that the state government has not taken up much initiative in regarding the development of industries in the state. So maybe in terms of policy, maybe in terms of a development of the infrastructures that is required for the industrial complexes, and as well as what my previous speaker has mentioned regarding the creation of ecosystem of the business, what we call it like the EODB, the ease of doing business. So basically, I would like to highlight these three points. Basically, I will be covering shortly about the policy matters and regarding the infrastructures of the industrial complexes and the creation of the ecosystem of business. So firstly, I would like to point out about regarding the policy. Out here in the state, we have an industrial policy which was started from the year 2000, and the new one is coming up, is being drafted as of now. But I would like to comment the policy as a good policy in paper, but not that good in implementation. The policy highlights many opportunities for the entrepreneurs. Like there are a lot of subsidies regarding the development of land for the industries, subsidies for the industries regarding the backed interest, the power subsidies, and also that regarding tax exemptions. But as I've said, for many years, no budget provisions has been provided to support the policy. So it's quite unfortunate. I sometimes refer to it as like a gun with no bullets. So that's my comment on that. I'm saying so that's regarding the policy. And but luckily we have the central policy like the NEIIPP and now just recently the NEIDS, where the entrepreneurs, we get benefit from it. So that's basically our lifeline for the development of industries in the area. So that's my first point regarding the policy. My second point, what I would like to emphasize is regarding the infrastructure of the state. So the Commercial Industries Department has lots of land in almost all the districts of the state. But however, this industrial complex, they are underdeveloped, and some even don't have outlet. Let me frankly speak from my first-hand knowledge that there are no roads, no networks, no electrifications, and even water supplies. So basically, if you want to start any venture, you have to basically start from scratch, and this involves huge infrastructure development, and then involves a lot of pre-operative expenses. So I find it is one of the main reasons that most of the projects that have come up has become NPAs in this regard. So I just want to also point out that mm, I have also started 2 ventures in these areas. But however, it is quite difficult, as already mentioned. And then one of my ventures, it also became an NPA for some time, but luckily due to the intervention of central government, I was able to revive. So that's one of the points which I also want to point out. And then the third point would be regarding the creation of a good environment for business community. Or as Pu Hun also said, regarding the creation of the ease of doing business. But as of now, we do not have a single window system for registrations or any common application formats. So I would like to say that if someone wants to start an industry, he has to go to so many other places. He has to go to meet all the departments. You have to go to the taxation department for your registration, the industrial, the DICs for the permits. You have to also go to the pollution control boards. Even you have to go to the municipal council for your permits and etc. etc. So if there is a system or the system of converging all the systems in a more transparent way, and even if the government can address these 3 issues, I believe that Mizoram will have a very bright future. And then finally, I would just like to make one more point regarding the finance and or the funding of industries. You may know that since most of the general public out here in Mizoram, they are first generation entrepreneurs. So it's quite difficult for them to obtain finance from the financial institutions. So this may be due to various reasons, but at the same time, I would also take take the blame on the financial institutions, because my justification for this would be the low utilizations or sanctions of the what you call the scheme of CGTMSC, the credit trust scheme for the MSC sectors, where one can avail funding without any collateral securities. This can be justified from, if you see the CD ratios of the Northeast states. So at present, the CD ratio for Northeast state is just 28.3%. This is as per the notification issued by the RBI 2021. And Mizoram, so we are lucky enough that our CD ratio is a bit higher, with a rate of 49.3%. But if we compare that with the context to the pan-India, it is actually very, very low. And in some southern states, some of those states, the CD ratio even exceeds to over 100%. So with this regards, we have a lot to move ahead and a lot of challenges. So this basically, that's our perspective from the industry side. We have a lot of challenges and way to move forward. But anyway, like if the authorities take a positive look, and Mizoram being a very small and a peaceful state, I think we can expect a lot of growth in the near future. So that was best. So I take talk to what Bharat say.
Thank you very much, Mr. David Lermon Puyafanai, for giving a very broad perspective and overview of the status of the industries in Mizoram, and also for touching, all the important aspects for starting a business or an industry in Mizoram, right from the policy matter, financial matter, infrastructure, and the ease of doing business. And I think we are very grateful to hear your success story from a very humble beginning to now employing over 100 people. And I think that's very heart-touching. All right, now we will move to our next speaker, Ms. Laltiang Limi. Ms. Laltiang Limi, who many of us know as Mimi. She is the manager at Northeastern Development Finance Corporation Limited since 2011. She completed an MBA in 2010. And since she joined NetFee, she has been posted in Aizawl, Guwahati, and she is currently located in Lunglei. So let's hear from Ms. Laltiang Limi. Over to you, Madam.
Good afternoon, everyone. When I had it on, I would like to thank on behalf of NetFee for giving us a good opportunity to highlight our programs and schemes of NetFee for the industries, for the entrepreneurs. So as we've been working with the entrepreneurs for 25 years now with saying NetFee, many of us is not able to is not knowing what we actually doing. So for that, I have prepared a small PowerPoint presentation which I will be sharing on the screen. And I think if some of you might have to switch can see, and I will explain what is NetFee and what is, I hope my screen is showing. Is it showing?
Yes, we can
see my screen
your
is visible?
Yes, it's visible.
Okay, thank you. So what is NetFee? I think I better speak in Mizo. No? I think all of us can read in English and I will speak in Mizo. So NetFee to Northeastern Development Finance Corporation kan niya NBFC non-banking finance company ni insang ni plepan niya RBI ya kanin register. So management of NetFee to board of directors in min and board of directors katsu shareholders tele Ministry of Donors katu kan main nita shareholders kan niya state government na tinghan representative and ombuka kamukha ni min and kolta share kan main shareholders te katu IDBI te SBI te LIC SCB ti vel ka nita hemi ba ka hianin donor chang hianin kan fan atamzok ang katu kan huchina kaka keni chuanin entrepreneurs te industrialist po kan tipal lawa kan entrepreneurs te kan unaw din na kanin interest claims o kanin finance kan pechina to kan main active kan core business nita chuanin genesis kan history of NetFee chuanin finance minister Manmohan Singh ani lai kanin Northeast Meeting kan mainland ho India mundang te industry lama kan umpak lo lut tu ka wang khan kan nu fal big lut tu ka wang khan ye ke mani man tu bi kha bank khamin kami industry big promotion to khan set up kha andu ta chu ta chang chuanin NetFee hi alo pianga chu chunglai prime minister PV Narasimha in 1996 khanin NetFee hi ahong ta chu ta chang chuan business kha kan chan ta atir taka chuan Ministry of Finance Banking Division in min en kola ma se sang ni le pali donor ministry alo piana khan donor khan in min en kolta atu thlengin donor khan kan administrative purpose song ha chuanin min en kolta ani min kai shwai ta ani chuanin sang khat zakwa somkwa le paru ka changin business kanchana chu main office hi head office Guwahati ya kan neya chuanin sang khat zakwa somkwa pasari achangin unserved and underserved areas of Northeast khanin microfinance kan introduce the microfinance han ke mani indirect in microfinance loan hi kan pelawa ma senin ke ni chuanin through the a company te an mani ke ni chu for kan searchin da chuanin ke ni chu a wholesaler kan dia kan tichina kami a institution te a company te a khani kami microfinance to kan pa pezok chinta anni in claim claim nein apung tamzokin loan kha anlo semchak vele chinta ani chuanin techno economic development fund kan tia he department shan hak anni a hemi hi chu Ministry of Home Affairs in fund kha arun tum ve thung ta hemi department bi katan hi chuan khata khanin state in 10 area B ka dedicated study le kami zero to B kan state ta na acha B tuna ta an target B ka study min nei saktur khan min anron ti chita ni state representative te khan so kami ka kainin study kan lo nei sit sakchina enge a processing enge a market kami aram tan khan acha MT ang chi te khatya ang ho kha study kan lo nei pui china so sang kha zakwa sumkwa le paria ta changin nodal agency kan ni a sexual subsidy bi ka NEIIPP te kan tia NEIDS te kan tia khang mawatan khanin agency kan mita ani chuanin sang hi le so pani achangin advisory and consultancy division hi kan om kan din le a chumi a chuanin enge DPR te state agency te tana le central te na na to enge na kan tho hu chat the zo na atana consultancy firm angkha anita a chuan tuna heta chuanin tuna central sarkar changa scheme kan hu te third party monitoring te kan lo ti puya chuan DPR te kan siam saka kha kan activity dang le ania chuan sang ni le som le pasari achangin notice venture fund kan nei ta a chu notice a chuanin registered venture fund institution masaber kan ni a in 2018 na Inclusive Finance India Award kan donga sang ni le somni kan kung somni pangana kan love chau ani chuan institution no pangten mai ila kan thei tokin kan thoka like for entrepreneurs sitan chuanin keima ni hianin a thok tu te pon kan tel ve a ke hei wi enge entrepreneurs ang thukhian kan min ngai ni keima ni hi chuan sang ni le somni a khanin Association for Development Finance Institution in Asia and Pacific achangin award pani kan donga with 12 kan kema ni project ale nefi microfinance scheme a khanin award pani kan dong boka chuanin tuna chuanin tuna kan din puna chuanin kan head office kan regional office kha this Bugatti ya kan neya chuanin keni chu notice cover kan ni Assam, Arunachal Pradesh, Manipur, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Nagaland, Sikkim and Tripura so kan oma chuanin hesti paria ta han tuna hanin branch somni kan neya in Mizoram chuanin Aizawl le Lungleya branch kan neya chuan representative office kan ti a branch office kan nei lo na masengin potential business omna si anga khanin representative office kan neya chuta chuan tuna chuanin Aizawl bi Mizoram bi ka chuan champaya chau representative office kan nei shia chuanin mundanga nei tur han tuna hanin ma kan lameka chu kan nei thoi kan in be se ani chuan net fee range of activities a chuanin finance service hi chu kan core business ani kan main business kha chu kan shatlar ber anita apart chumi ba ka chuanin advisory and consultancy division kan tia ani chuanin consultancy lampang DPR lo siam te mase DPR te kan private DPR ka kan siam lo ta so government to government ang kanita chuanin BFC kan tia business facilitation center kan tia hi capital branch ho capital state capital branch hawa khanin business facilitation center hi kan neya chuta chuanin mentor kan neya bank ka lo retire to bank ka hi na lo thok to ten entrepreneurs first generation entrepreneurs te guidance te enge thu an la ka ange an requirement te engtinge project report an siamang ti ante an zo nan khami BFC ba dor tu khan net fee loan la tur care net fee loan apply tur care ka ani angai lawa any bank ka khoi institution a po an kal theta chuan clear enge ang documentation nge ngai ti ang ti te guidance te lo ti puya lo mai to pu tu tur ang ka ani ta ani chu engma poisa chon po ngai lawa khami ka capital branch hawa chuan kan nei veka khang ho khadu tuina pantheya chuanin training skill development division kan neya khata kha chuanin training le skill development ata na thil chang atul kha keima ni kan location na zir khani kan wa chai china chuan market linkage kan tia keima ni net fee in exhibition kan wa saya chuan exhibition keima ni wa chai pya lama chuanin kami kay mani va then phalo na akhan in entrepreneurs tekal du an om tekal thei tu on khan kha ho kan sponsor china chu no chu anita a chon exposure visit kan tia tuna I industry dang North Mizoram and for example Mizoram la om ngai do ang kan ding tu ta ma sengin agi aponga takalo badin ve top chi zir chang masalo lo bat chi ni lo ta kada khan existing unit te lo vat lo a lo vat zir chang tu khan exposure visit kan ta kada khan in industry lama entirna brick industry ang te lo ni ta akse brick industry to Manipur te khan om chata chani khat khatyang te kha Mizoram brick industry lama mi te na an thlo thina turata khan kan siam saka iren chan na te kan siam saka te khan an thlo the dan tur ang kharam man na kan siam pu china chuan research and development center kan ta hi Tripura ali asama kan ne chu ta chuanin enge abikin medicinal plant te khatyang ho studies ka kan nei chinta ni enge marketability te enge achadon em aram le lungi na ngei do nem ti ang chi te chu ta chuanin lemongrass ang chi te patchouli ti ang chi te Sishak shang kata ang notice salar kay mani na kan ramina ka achatura kan ngai ang chi ho ka munda ngati lar ma kan achadon enge direct ka entrepreneur sele farmer te ashil law khan kay mani study kan nei pui pota for banana yarn te kan law ti ta banana yarn kha tang egora jang chuan la chu siam thi chu kan cheta ni ma se kha ke nin ke ma nin kan ti phot china ni chu direct ka entrepreneur sele atui mi handicraft direct pick up low khan ke nin ati dan cha te kan lo zir puya achat anya sum don na lo dan tu te kan lo study puita acha kan nu a khan kan pe chu chau chin ta chuanin TEDF Techno Economic Development Fund kan ta chu ka soi to Ministry of Home Affairs in Finance min te ka studies kan lo nei sakha ni ta chu Mizoram anga chuanin tuna ginger te minron achang chuan ginger te anron proposal floriculture te anron proposal chuan khatyang ho at proposal anron propose ang chika amuna te kan pro chuan engi market suitability te production khoi area ange khai khatya ang khami a variety ginger apo variety section kan lo nei ta khami a variety kha acha em ti ang chi te khatya ang te kan lo ngai to approve ve china ni kan lo study pui china chuanin nodal agency for central subsidies kan ta heta hi chuanin NEIIPP noya te di NEIDS noya te subsidy shanga claim te ya kan la tia chuan tuna MOVCDER te kan tia agriculture te 50% subsidy claim te ta chuan khatyang ho subsidy ata khanin agency kan ni boka ke mani through in khang subsidy kha kan pe chinta ni tu kan main activities ni ta chuan ke mani chu non banking finance company kan ni akhanin direct ke mani chuanin enge cash ka direct in kan deal ve lawa wangin ke ni chu entrepreneur sen ne na khan tebula khan at enge an ground level khan kan batel ve ani heta table changa tel ve lawin kan an mani tak ang khan kan batel ve training an nei pon atul chang ke mani po khami training to khan ding ko ve me kan tel ve ka an so acha ke ni a complete package can provide kan ti training skill development and ya chuan assistance kan pe boka chuan a market touring exhibition te kan pa sai pui le a chu kan activities anita ni chuan kan main activities to financing anita voina po hianin ke ma cha finance changa banking institution changa tel kan ni anin a loan scheme kan nei ang khatlem ron highlights ka du'a chan chu entrepreneurs te kan oma khang ho khanina idea kan nei na atan chuanin porot he englowin ka kal zung nga chak de win chuanin nakina interest in nei chuanin direct in nakina ke ma min lo bag zo kha arem chan zo kalinga khami to khan rem chan na kan siam zo na project formulation kan chuanin tuna entrepreneurs kan lo ni ta entrepreneurs kan ni chuanin project identification and selection kan ta ang project nge kan interest ang project nge take up kan du ti kan lo ngai to ta ani chuan chumi to chuanin kan lo final ta tuna pima mwani te chuanin handloom and handicraft alo thak ta khatya khanin ke ang enge hotel project kan mi kan du handloom and handicraft project handloom project handicraft project kami ka project kan lo select ta ni kan du ber ka chon chu min hu chuanin kan project kan lo appraisal ka kan lo nei ta kami project tuna restaurant te kan lo ti ta kami restaurant set up tu khanin eng ange kan mamo zong in kan mamo a furniture kan mamo a kitchen food setup kan mamo a khatya ang zong kan lo chu chak ta ni eng ange setup kan tu ma zir khat kan project ka zir khat chuan avail khatu kan lo chu chak the ta a chumin nu a chuan in sourcing of funds ka ti ta ni paisa kha kan mamo ta a khami kan du ang ti lo thing tu chuan chumi dot le a chuan project implementation kha a om ta a kan vision kan mit khana le ataka kan action kha anin mu the anin enge an kal dun cha na kha a vision and a plan kha become reality kha khai project implementation kan ti chuan ta ne chuan kan wena kan ron thurbing le tur chu ta chuan sourcing of funds kha kan thurbing le anga sourcing of funds sa chuan in self finance kha chu the most common one ani ta as self finance kha chu kan baya kan enge du tu sama chuan in tuna 50% puma puya po khana ron so ya 50% of the entrepreneurs are doing self finance ati coming to own fund the savings kan nuka kan tikhan kan ti so unsecured loan kan ti unsecured loan to loans taken from families and friends ya in jan chatte in chung khat na te wanga poisa kan book sak khalo min ta se so loan from financial institution kan ti so ani tun kum ti khat achang hianin angel investor le venture capital here on larchan ta angel investor so ani tu moni in poisa aneya chung te kapo ni kher lo khan ma se terms and condition fel tak mang khanin the entrepreneur poisa kha ava invest sakta chu the angel investor kan ti ta ni chuan venture capital kan ti bok ta venture capital chuan min khai chu capital invested in a project kan risk as enge thil danglam bi thil la ongai lawa khan in venture capital chuan institution through kan risk zong a business atana inwama capital va provide kha anita chuta chuan entrepreneur khanin that's like a span of time khan hun enge mu chung khan a profit percent in mo a pekle tanga yanga with the capital khatikanin a project law finance tu khan omta ani chu chung ho chu anita chuan bank loan kan ti le ta khang howa kha chuanin chuan bank loan da khanin chi shang kha kan nei le ta ni working capital loan cash credit loan kan tia term loan te short term le long term loan kan nei ya overdraft facilities te kan nei ya hey tuna hianin different types of bank loans hianin chi shang tam tak kan nei chi som de tho kan nei kan note down in ma se khata khanin kan enge heng ho tu na karon tarlan bi khi chu kan man tlang loan mi pui na kan shat tlang loan ang ho kha ani equipment finance kan ta equipment finance bi ka chuanin khami khol lian tham deuh tu na khol pakhat kha noi songa noi za te lo ni ta cha khami khol bi gleina turata na equipment finance kan lang kha ani ta chuan loans under government scheme kan ta tu na chuanin loan government hanin entrepreneur sector hanin government scheme hi aron siam na sa ema aron introduce na sa ani ma se khang ho government schemes ho reng tuna subsidy te po avail to ring government subsidy te po avail to ring tuna chuan loan na ni ke yangai to loan na lawa self finance remote chuan so apong thei to lawa ni nge scrutiny kha thei to lawa ni chu wan chuan tuna chuan government scheme re te po eng scheme po loan finance ka financing ka kan nei nge anga ta po chuan kan project ang ngei khan kan in finance ka kan lak ve zel angai to ani chuanin project kan ti khanin project cost project atana poisa ngai zat kha tahan a sample karon siama he ani turti na ni chuang lo ta entinat restaurant khai lo set up don ta chuan a land kha chu ilo nei sa ta ani bank hanin project atan chuan land le na hi kan pe manglo kan pe thei lawa ti la dik zok ma ang kan pe mang lawa chuanin land kha chu ilo nei sa ta a project site ti lo nei sa ta ani chuanin ma se project site khanin development amamo construction of building angaya chuanin plant and machineries imamo chuan khami plant and machineries support to khan fixed assets dang kha ilama mo chota ni internal office setup ingaya electrification zong iti angaya chuan ancillary machines tam tak kha ila nei bok ta kham ho kha ila mamu buka chung ho te chulo ni ta chuan preliminary and
Sorry to interrupt, Miss Mimi. I
Yes.
think your slide is not moving.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Very sorry. Is it coming now?
Yes. Thank you.
I think I put in I'll keep it like this. So chuanin tikhanin preliminary and pre-operating expenses kan tikhan kan project atana kan expenditure to zong a real direct related ni silo to na license, for example project report CAA to siam ti ra kami siam nan remove to khan che in mosat an low charge che a chuan registration iti angaya chen khat registration a chuanin anwai til te po se ngai lo onta khatyang ang chi te chuan traveling kami project ka study do wang khan travel te ingaya insurance te ingaya khatyang ang til tam tak khabai pui turi ni ta ni chuan khatyang ho kha preliminary and pre-operating expenses a khan kan da chuan working capital kan tia working capital to day operation atana kan mamo kha lo ni ta chuan let's chuan kami kha for example hey to example la karon da chuan ani a total sum up a total sum up kha chu 10 lakhs alo ni ta ani khata khanin means of finance kan ti le ta 10 lakhs kha chen kha chuan ke mani on fund khan kanin kan finance thei ta ni ma se chen khata chuan bank loan te kan la du ta chuan khata chuan bank loan khalo la du ta angila bank loan angin kan lo chu ta chuan promoters contribution kan ti ta atla pui tu in 25% kan charge kha chu loan amount na zir khana dang lo dang lang be the ta 75 bank khanin a full finance kan pe the lo ta ni nang ma ni khanin engem bozat ka in lo in tum ve lo ngai ta chuan khata khanin net fees term loan khati 75% ka ke mani chuan in kan scheme a chuan 25% ti kan minimum ani a chu wang ron da chu kan ya PMEGP ate chuan in government scheme ani chuan in 15% chau kha promoters contribution ani kha angaya chuan khami kha chu a scheme to scheme in adanglam ve china chuan in loan ka 75% from the total project cost anita 25% ka nangma contribution savings at changa MOA ilo mai to ave ngai kha alo nita ani chuanin range of service chuanin financial assistance scheme sa hanin kan nga khop mai ke mani chuanin som ni deu tho kan ne ma se heng ho hi ke mani Mizoram scenario chuan kan man the ho anita project finance te kan tia chuan rupee term loan alian tham ho bi ka tan te kan tia chuanin chuan notice entrepreneurs development scheme kan tia chu needs the first generation entrepreneurs te bi kina ham chat na an nei thena turata na ti ania chuan EDS kan tia ta hi chuanin working capital loan ang chi kan peta chuan women enterprise development scheme kan nei ta hi chuan meichia entrepreneurs tena meichia bi ina du engham chatna andon theina turata na special scheme kan pe khania chuan in net fee opportunity scheme kan ta he ta hi chuan in subsidized interest rate in project micro maya thosi khan ma se Mizoram around 1 CR vel ang chi ang te khatya ho micro kan tia kan micro tak ang zuk ni phasi lo tlema lian ve de on ho kan ho scheme kha anita chuanin healthcare development scheme kan ta healthcare bi ka chuanin hospital medical professionals ho wina special scheme an nei theina turata na siam kha anita chuan Atmanirbharata Hatskar scheme hata hi chuanin handloom and handicraft bi kan da chuan self employed professionals kan ta chuanin self employed professionals ho han entirnan consultancy firm te an lo din duta professionals in khang ho ina office setup te an lo ni ti theina turatan te is tuna charter accountant ten lo nita engineer te an lo nita khang ho ina scheme special scheme an nei kha anita chuan micro credit scheme kan ta to microfinance ni china kan highlights right to kha khang ho kha anita ni chuanin dahanin my Northeast Entrepreneurs Development Scheme kan ti hmaya ka chuanin project cost maximum project cost ka 50 lakhs kha lo ni ta chuan promoters contribution kan ka chu Atmanirbharata kan 25% kha lo ania chuan assistance kan pay to 75% of the term loan ania interest rate hi 7% tu na tan chuan ania ania the processing fee upfront fee kan ta ka chu 1% of the sanction amount the repayment period ka chu up to 7 years ania chuan security ka chu per ka chu bank dang ang tho khanin hypothecation of assets te ko collateral security or primary security te chuan pro guarantor te khani ka chu nge project to project wise khana danglam be chin ani chuan khatya angcha khanin he enterprise development scheme te kan nei ta khata kha chuan project cost kha noi za sum nga chin 150 lakhs kha ani ta promoters contribution of 33% from the total cost kan ta chuan heta po hian interest rate to 7% so ani chuan he chu women enterprise development scheme kan ti heta hi chuan mechia bi chau kha kan khung theya heta hantle min ati dan khadang lam vele de uleka mechia women's mechia te choi kan na turata na kan special scheme ani ama khan chuan net fee opportunity scheme for small enterprise kan ta heta hi chuan first generation entrepreneurs tena aning lo an project an expand theina turatan te an upgrade theina turatan te modernization an ki theina turatan te scheme kan ne khani in angklang pui to khata kha chuan khami a scheme as your a project to project as your khan khang ho kha chu adang lam le chin ta ni chuanin tuna nodal agency a khanin disbursement of central subsidies kha kan ni bokta tuna kan shad lara chuan central capital investment subsidy any IPP le any IDS a khan om be central capital investment subsidy te kan tia central interest subsidy te kan tia comprehensive insurance subsidy te kan tia khang ho kha mase heng ho hi chu apply to chuan industry department thua ti angaya registration zong kha online ti ve kan ya kha ange harsa lawa khang ho kha entrepreneurs te ho kan lo chuanin setup kan tung chuan lo ngai vanilla ti ila thil harsa ani lawa atira changa kan ti ve chuan thema documentation te complicate atam de ule ka wangin khang ho kha ahun taka ti thap ani chuanin heng ho subsidies claim hi thil har lu tu kan lawani mase atopa tuna heta kan om tu ka experience a chuanin subsidy claim tu rina kan buaina per chin hi chu atira kanin wat sai lawa atira kanin zirchang lawa kan unit atan khan ange kan mamoti te ang registration nge ang clearance nge NOC kan mamotu ho te kha kan lo ti sa chin lawa ni chuanin kan le shal na kan thil leina ang chi kan chalan ang chi te khan te kan lo ti mumal chin lawa chuan atopa submit lo huna khanin ate enge allowing kal thel kan wa chin ta ni tuna heta chuanin engkim checklist so oma adi within a span of time chumi tu ti tu kha lawin ti thap to chin sia khata khan atopa a in ho khom khan kan wai ta chida achang le khami wang khan kan application ten scrutiny kha true lo pha achang le document zong te kan produce the lo pha chu wa chuanin kan ti to na hianin industry kan set up to na heng ho kan interest ani chuan atira khanin download me turin DIPP website ta khan download me turin khami zong ka checklist zong ka om beka chuan industry department achangin azo thei boka chuan keima ni po min zo thei boka khata chang khan a checklist khala kan unit turina amomo tur ang zong kha chu khati khan lo wat saya atopa boy tuk lo le enge harsat na om lo kan claim theina tuna hanin Mizoram bi ka hanin kan chang khop me ke ma ni po kan campaign na sa subsidy la hi state dang ngai to in kan claim bi lut to kan kan state subsidy mu kan tam lo bi lut to ka chu wang chuan northeast ania Mizoram khanin kan claim lo chuan state dang khanin ham chat na kha andong vek sia kan don ve the nan kan entrepreneurs ten kan mamo ngoi ya kan hu ve the na atan kha ke ma ni khalawin zir changi la heng ho hi kan mu te turin kan ti ta sa ani chan kan ham chat na don tu the ang te kan don ve amason na ta na kan man the na tan I lo in zir ve de wa lo in zir chiang ve ang u ti kha ka som du cheu an ni e lo me ka ti song kha ka presentation pek ni chu ni e
Miss Miss Lai Chang to Miss Tunga kan lom em ani nek pi malak na sang te tun na ya malak le an chang le ti ko kan lom mutheya ni mi tam zok ten kan man chang kai te ngi kan be say thank you very much Miss Lai Chang for presenting very detailed activities and financial schemes offered by NetFree. And I must say that NetFree has been very instrumental in promoting entrepreneurship and enterprises in Northeast India. And not only their service is not only limited to providing loans and financial support, but also they have been playing an active role, but silently, in providing service such as facilitating, nurturing, and promoting entrepreneurship development by different activities. So thank you once again, Ms. Lathyagini. So now we have moved to our last speaker, and who is none other than our own in-house Dr. Silal Monpuya, Project Scientist 1 from the Scheduled Tribe Cell of Mizoram Science Technology and Innovation Council, who will be talking to us about the food industry in Mizoram and hopefully the growth towards Atmanirbharata through food industry. So a bit of an introduction for Dr. Silal Monpuya. He has a PhD in food technology from Punjab Agricultural University. He has previously worked as an assistant professor in Delhi University, and now he is currently holding the post of project scientist here in Mystic. So over to you, Dr. Silal Monpuya.
Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, you're audible.
Okay, it's really an honor to be one of the speaker for the celebration of Vigyan Utsav. And for my presentation today here, I have made a PowerPoint presentation. So I am going to share the screen here. And let me take a couple of seconds. Okay, I request ma'am to please let me know if you can hear me properly and if you can see the screen so that I can go ahead and start with the presentation.
Yes, we can see your screen and we can also hear you properly. So please carry on.
All right. So our topic today, the topic that I am going to discuss is analysis of food industries in Mizoram, growth towards Atmanirbharata. And our topic today is a little long, as we can see here, and moreover, there is a Hindi word in it. So I think we need to break it down so that we can all understand. Here, Atmanirbharata simply means self-reliance. Okay, so we can say that this is a report on the Mizoram food industries as we are aiming towards self-reliance, being self-supportive on our own and without having to depend on others. Coming to the introduction. So we are going to talk about the status of food industries. And this is a report taken from website of Commerce and Industries Department. And as we all know, agriculture sector has been the backbone of Mizoram, and food industries are the ones that are creating the badly needed jobs for the youth. So we can see we have more than 800 food processing units that are registered under this Commerce and Industries Department. And these industries, they are generating more than 5,700 employment. So we can say that food industries, they are doing very well in employment generation. So even among other sectors, food industry is among the top in terms of employment generation, even though the status of food industry is not that very developed at the moment. Now, before we really discuss about the analysis of food industries, I want to start with a question that we can think, that we can ponder upon, that can we really become self-reliant in food as a state? Okay, so the COVID-19 pandemic, it has exposed our vulnerabilities, especially in the supply chains. And that time, during those 1.5 years, we were forced to live minimalistic lifestyle, and somehow we survived it. Okay, we survived the pandemic. But now that the pandemic seems to be over, I just want to take a fact check on some of the most commonly consumed food products, apart from the conventional meals, of course. Okay, so here is a fact check on some of the most commonly consumed food in our state. Okay, I am saying that because if we go to any departmental stores, if we visit any shops that are selling foods, okay, so these are the kind of foods that we will find. So most of them are produced or they are made outside our state. And well, except for guava, of course. So we can say hats off to the producers of guava in Zamboanga, Bilkotir, Juvel, and all those districts of Mamit and Kolosip. Because of them, because of their hard work in growing of areca nut, we are now self-sufficient in guava. But needless to mention that it is a long road to our goal here, which means the topic of our presentation, that is moving towards self-sufficiency, that is Atmanirbharata. It is still a very long road. Okay, I am being a little cynical here, but on the other hand, we can say from what we have observed here, we know the good thing is that there are unlimited opportunities, especially in food processing. So it is really a challenge to utilize our available raw materials and replace these products, especially those that are outside the countries. So for example, let me give example of these products. Tamarin, tengtere. Okay, we have these raw materials in abundance in our state. They are simply falling down and they are getting spoiled on the trees. Okay, so why can't we make some products out of this? Okay, so those are a challenge. We can really replace these products easily. And all these plum, and most of these chips, juices, they can be replaced. Even the oils. Okay, we have been a state for more than 36 years, and we are still consuming 100% oil made by. We are still consuming oil made by other states, 100% of them. So this should be a kind of a wake-up call, really, that we really need to work on our food industries. There is still a lot of challenges that we have to come up with. Now, coming to the core topic of our today's presentation, that is analysis of food industries in Mizoram. And we have seen earlier that there are more than 800 food industries registered under commerce and industries. So due to limited time, we are not going to cover all of them. We are going to cover only some of the biggest food industries of our state, ones that are really significant. So the first and the biggest is the Zoram Mega Food Park. And this is the biggest industry set up in the state so far. This was launched a few years ago by the Union Minister. She was the Minister of Food, Ministry of Food Processing Industries, Ms. Harsimrat Kaur Badal. Okay, and during the launch, the Union Minister said that this mega food park is to provide employment to 5,000 persons, and also it is to benefit 25,000 farmers. Okay, so right now it is not yet fully functional, and this is the largest food industry of the state by far, and it is stretching across 55 acres of land, and the project cost is around 75.2 crores. That is more than 75,000 lakhs of rupees. Now we'll see a little about this food industry, because this mega food park is unique, and the exceptional thing about this mega food park is that it is available for rent. Okay, even though it is a private enterprise, these mega food park schemes are made in such a way that they are available for rent for entrepreneurs. So for entrepreneurs, it is very expensive to buy all these facilities. They need cold storage, they need packaging materials, packaging machines, they need the processing lines. Okay, so all these, sometimes the entrepreneurs cannot afford, especially in a poor state like ours. So this is one facility, the only facility that we have that entrepreneurs can make use of. Okay, so I hope you can see this picture, the green picture. I don't know if you can read it, but here it's written that they are available for rent. There are plots, okay, there are rooms where people can pay and stay there for a period of more than 25 years. And all these facilities, which I have written here, like cold storage, warehouse, okay, the canning lines, and spices drying facility, fruits and vegetables processing facility, and the food testing facilities are available to them. Okay, they can use them if they go and have these plots. Now coming to the second biggest food industries that we have, which is the MIFCO. Who, by the way, MIFCO have sponsored my study on food industries in Mizoram way back in 2015. So in 2015, they made a project in which I was a surveyor, and I got the privilege to survey all these food industries in Mizoram, most of the food industries in Mizoram. Okay, so I just want to mention that about MIFCO. And they have fruit juice concentrate plant at Chingchip, and at Zemabok, they also have poultry processing, pork and poultry processing plant, and a food processing plant in Sairam. And they have processing centers in which they conduct periodic training on food processing and preservation. So this is the food industry at Chingchip. And what we can see in the picture is the fruit juice concentrate plant taken 7 years ago while I was having a survey on food industries. And the equipment that they have includes lighters, evaporators, etc., which are for processing of passion fruit, pineapple juices, orange juices, and bibbing, bamboo shoots, etc. And these are some of their products: passion fruits and pineapple squash. And even though we can say they are not a very big success in our state, as far as I know, till now, they are still selling this passion fruit juice concentrate to other states, like in Guwahati. Okay, so if you check in India Mart, these products are still available, and they used to sell this fruit juice concentrate, especially the passion fruit juice concentrate, to other states. And now coming to the most successful private food industry that we have, we can claim that they are the most successful, that is Koinonia, because in terms of sales, they are on top among the food industries. And I would like to say hats off to this talented, incredible man. So because of him, a product which is made in Mizoram has dominated our own market in the form of 2 flavored drinks, lemon-based drinks. One is salted and one is sweet. So this is a picture of the processing line at Koinonia. And again, this was taken 5 years back while I was visiting there and having a survey on the food industries. Now coming to oil palm industries. A few years back, there were 3 private companies. Okay, they have signed MOUs with the government for setting up of oil palm industries in Mizoram, and it was funded by Ministry of Food Processing Industries, and they were given a few crores for setting up these plants. And right now, only Godrej Agrovet is fully functional right now, and it is situated in Bugvane, which is in Kolosip district. And I want to share this data because I just want to emphasize on oil palm and the importance of having a refinery. As we can see, we have now produced more than 37,000 metric tons of oil palm in Mizoram, which is quite high. Production is now very high. And we know the importance of cooking oils because we are using cooking oils every day. We really can't live without cooking oils. And if it is that important, after being a state for 36 years, it's time that we realize that 100% of our cooking oils are made from outside our state. Okay, so it is really important that we give more importance, more preference to these oil palm industries, especially the refinery industries. So we can see here some of the farmers of oil palm, and the highest producer is earning more than 109 lakhs in the past decade. And even the last in the top 10, he's earning more than 15 lakhs. So here is a factory of oil palm in Bugvane, which we have taken a few months back. I think it was just 3 months back. And this oil palm factory, Godrej Agrovet, they are producing crude oils, and these crude oils are then sent to Calcutta. Okay, so in Calcutta they are refined and then they are sold elsewhere. Excuse me. So we know setting up a refinery will be the only way ahead for achieving self-reliance. Okay, so I just want to emphasize more on this because we are still using oil palm oils, cooking oils made by other states, 100% of our cooking oils. And then we have Malco, which is a dairy industry, and they are the major supplier of milk in Aizawl, and they are running so well like a whale oil machine. So there is not much to discuss about this. And these are some of their products. And as I have said, there are more than 800 food industries that have registered. So we can't mention all of them. So we'll just have some honorable mentions. We have few noodle industries who are making chow, and we have pickle industries like CC pickle, Moite pickle. They are really kitchen stuffs. Small scale industries, and we have few bakeries. Some are really big, like Zote Bakery, but we'll not discuss all of those in detail. And food processing industries that are processing foods like amla, mangoes, etc., and chips industries like jamming chips. Okay, there is one more which we will not mention. Okay, so this is a winery. We have a winery. I don't even know if we are supposed to discuss about this, so we'll just keep the picture here and move ahead. Moving on to strategies for self-reliance in food industries. And this will be the last topic. Okay, now, several departments under the government of Mizoram have taken many steps to promote food industries. Okay, so these are examples of the schemes, programs which are taken by these departments. For example, under the Commerce and Industries Department, they have industrial areas which are available for rent for a period of 20 years. Okay, as an entrepreneur, suppose there is an entrepreneur who have an idea of a food product, but who doesn't have any land, but food industries require land. Okay, so these commerce and industries have industrial areas where they can go and have their manufacturing. And another scheme is the PMFME scheme. Okay, PMFME scheme, where this scheme provides financial assistance, technical assistance to food entrepreneurs. And we also have National Mission on Food Processing, and this is taken up by the commerce industries. And under this scheme, we have the Mega Food Park scheme, the scheme of cold chain and quality and food safety, etc. And under planning, we have the SEDP, where entrepreneurs are provided loans and the state government as its guarantor. And under the planning, they also have these entrepreneurship development schemes. Okay? And in this EDS, we have entrepreneurship development cell, which is the EDC, in which they provide these master trainers. They have exposure tours, and they provide awareness programs, trainings, and they also have competitions for entrepreneurs, such as Mizoram Kailon and Mizoram Rapi. So these are competitions for people who are having entrepreneurship ideas. Apart from that, there are concerned departments in agriculture, fisheries, and horticulture who are working constantly on promotion of food industries by providing trainings, by giving them technical support, as well as by providing them the infrastructure that is needed for strengthening the value chain or the food industries. So we can summarize the work that have been taken up by the government strategies for self-reliance on promoting food industries, as we can say funding by giving them technical support, by giving them trainings, and also by giving them infrastructure. Now coming to the needs of food industries in Mizoram. And these I have made after interaction with several food industries, and after having survey on their needs. Some of the major needs identified and reported, okay, they can be summarized in the following points. The first one is raw material supply chain. This has always been a problem, especially for the big industries, for the large industries. Yes, there is really a need to manage the raw materials. When a big industry is set up, before an industry is set up, we always seem to have a surplus of raw materials. But once a large industry is set up, they always say that there is a lack of raw materials. Okay, so they really need a better raw material supply chain. The second topic is on technical guidance and supervision. And here we know that most of the entrepreneurs, especially in the food industries that we have, they are not technically trained. They are doing it out of interest. So we need help from the government side. They need help from the government side to have a department which have a keen helping hand and taking up of follow-up activities on the problems of these food industries. And the third need reported is on packaging materials. And we all know that the packaging materials of foods is the one that makes it attractive. Okay, they contribute to attractiveness of the food. Sometimes the packaging materials or the packaging, they are very expensive for entrepreneurs because they have to buy it from outside the state. So packaging facility from the government for these food industries is really the need of the hour. And the next need is on ingredients. As we all know, ingredients such as preservatives or colors, some additives that are added to food. The main core, the reason behind food processing and preservation. But none of these ingredients are available in our state. They are not manufactured in our state. So this is also another way that to go, our step forward in our food industries. And then better roads. Roads is always the problem as for the products, for the industries, as well as for supply of raw materials. And last is marketing. Even though for some food industries, this is not a problem because the demand is very high for many food products. But for many food entrepreneurs, marketing is really a challenge. For the last topic, these are some of the strategies for reaching Atmanirbharata for the food industries. Okay, so I have made this after visiting several food industries. I came up with these strategies and suggestions, even though I'm sure there will be so many other strategies, but these are some of the strategies that I think will do well, that I have suggested for reaching this goal. Okay, the first is supporting the locals. I have said earlier in the first few slides that we are importing a lot of food products, as those that are available in our state, but we are still importing because we are just simply relying, on other states and other countries, especially from Myanmar. Those the tamarind and those food products that we are still taking it every day. So we really need to replace those outside products, and we need to replace it with our local products, because many raw materials are available waiting to be utilized. And supporting local products by giving preference from community and supporting the locals by giving guidance from the government is the only way we can reach this Atmanirbharata. And the second strategy that I have suggested is by supporting micro, small, and medium enterprises, because we know Mizoram is one of the poorest state in one of the poorest country in the world, that is in India, and most of us cannot afford large entrepreneurship. So we really need to support these micro, small, and medium enterprises because they are the backbone of our food industries. And the third is giving more investment in food industries. And here, even though I just said that small scale industries are the backbone, we can say that the ones that play a really significant role are the large industries. So what in this point, I am really giving a shout out, a call for our prosperous and those that are wealthy, well off, to invest more in food processing. And fourth is training and supervision of entrepreneurs. And I have already discussed that most of our entrepreneurs, they are not technically trained. So they said that they always need some training. Some training can always be helpful for them. And this is really their need. And fifth, the second last here is promote technologies and ingredients. So here I am suggesting the use of new technologies, better technologies than the conventional ones that we are using. We can replace many of these technologies by better technologies that are coming up. Okay, so for this, we really need to bridge the gap between academia and industries. And the last strategy is on market chain development. And I don't think I need to explain this further. There is a very poor market chain right now. And we really need a good manager for the market chain. Okay, so that is all. And thank you so much for listening patiently.
Thank you very much, Dr. Monpuya, for your in-depth analysis of the food industry in Mizoram and for bringing out the challenges that lie ahead, and also for drawing out the strategies and the extensive, detailed roadmap to becoming a self-reliant Mizoram in food industry. Thank you very much for your time once again. Dr. Monpuya tumagan lom Emma. First-hand knowledge le experience kam tak anaya ni bo ina presentation na ron chot ko ha ni ahlo ema ni kan tangkai pui le angki rin ani kan lome. Before we finally end our session, there's a Google form provided in the chat box. So for those who are interested to for a certificate, please fill up the form so that we can issue the certificate. Once again, I thank all our invited speakers and success taking time out of your busy schedules to present on the topics assigned to you. Thank you also very much. And I also thank all the participants who have been very patient in sitting throughout the entire program. I thank you for your presence. And I also thank the organizer, Mizoram Science, Technology and Innovation Council, and the Department of Science and Technology, Government of Mizoram, for organizing this event. Thank you very much. Have a good day.